If we can't save the cutest animal in the world, what is going to happen? When we first came and looked at the property, it was hills with grass that was slashed short and then lone mature trees. Even at the time there were still koalas that were using the property, and so we would often see a koala, maybe two koalas if we were lucky. We were enjoying the lifestyle, but we thought, it would be nice to be helping the koalas and cut down on some of the slashing. In 2011 and in 2012, we decided to plant some koala trees. At the time we were doing the second year of planting, my husband was developing the first symptoms of motor neurone disease. From about that point onward, I wouldn't even walk out to the backyard and look down at the land, because I just didn't know what was going to happen while I just concentrated on looking after my husband. Chris died the following year, and a few months after he died, I finally decided, okay, it's time to go out and have a walk and have a look at what's happened out there. It's very hard to describe the feeling that it was, because I expected to go out there and find weeds, and discovered about 2,000 koala food trees had self-sown and regenerated, and it did a complete change on the inside of me of thinking, while we weren't interfering out there, nature's just looked after itself, and this just felt like I can just ride with what nature's doing. And that's pretty much what I've been doing ever since. As Australians, we all know what koalas are, but we don't actually know an awful lot about them. So I thought I should go and join Friends of the Koala and learn more about what these animals are about that I'm looking at doing this habitat for. I worked with them firstly doing basic work in the runs, looking after the koalas, and that progressed, and now do supervisor work. And I found the more that I just ran with it, the more it felt like this was what I was supposed to do. I sold the tractor and I bought myself a quad bike, and that's how I actually started going out and looking actively at the koala population out there. I officially started daily counting on the 1st of January 2015. I probably saw about 1.1 koalas a day. At the moment, I'm seeing about 5 times the amount of koalas. So in just 4.5 years, the results are absolutely staggering. As those young trees are growing and are actually big enough for the koalas to get in and use, the koala population is increasing. The BCT decided to target koala habitat. This funding was to actually fund a conservation agreement with a budget for every year going on forever into the future. I had started to realise that I was putting a lot of energy and resources into what I was doing here, and I attended an information session. Quite a large assessment was done on the property, and I was notified that I had been successful, and that money is going to pay for professional regenerators to maintain the habitat regenerating in a really strongly biodiverse way. A really big issue with habitat loss is fragmentation. Colonies of animals get cut off and they can't disperse and keep their genetic diversity up. I'm only one small property, and so if what I'm doing can be replicated, then we would get, maybe 1,000 small properties all up and down the East Coast, and that would start to deal with the fragmentation issue. So the field days for me are a really fabulous opportunity to get people actually hands-on looking at what does regeneration look like, what does it feel like, how hard is it really, what would be involved, and I would love to be able to develop something that we can actually hand out to people that would be like a model of, if you want to do this is what you do. And I believe the BCT are really, interested in educating the public to live that lifestyle, and that's really exciting to me because it's an amazing lifestyle living with nature. It is just amazing. I really am feeling like the new shape of my life makes sense, and running with it was the right thing, and this funding from the BCT, it's almost as though that's been the crowning thing that has said, you were doing the right thing, because now I'm really in a position to make a difference forever with this piece of land. I would have my husband back in a heartbeat, but out of the ashes there was suddenly something beautiful that's happening that is, it's so critical. I know that he would absolutely love what is happening here. Look, he'd miss his tractor, but he'd love it. He would be so excited.